and crowdfunding, which is pretty typical of the stream. I'm also going to show off some Foundry, which I think will be look pretty cool. People appreciate that. So, which I better want to think will be look pretty cool. People appreciate that. We're off and running. So, which I'm Ty. Better want to think will be look you. 6 a.m. Got plenty of rest later in life, Ty. Thanks for getting up this early. You know, I don't know about you. I was never an early guy when I was a kid. I was the noon sleeper. Sleep till noon, stay up late. But now that I'm older, man, gotta get up early. Get more day. And as I say that, I realize I take naps during the day. So go figure. I'm so old and crusty. Anyways, I forgot to think of a welcome message or a welcome, initiation message. Oh, I got a good one. It actually was a good one that I used a while ago about, and I think I'm going to tweet it in a year. So I have a tweet marked from a year ago where I asked, what is the one book? Shoot, what was it? Non-RPG? Well, I'll just put it out there. We'll do RPG. What is the one RPG book? If you were on a deserted island or your entire RPG library had been annihilated from an apocalypse, or you could only get one book to keep, what would it be? If you could keep only one RPG book. It's got to be a book. Well, game, PDF, whatever, but it's got to be one RPG book that you would keep. Say your house was burning down and you could only save one RPG book. What would it be? All right. Usually have some folks trickle in here. There's CJ. Hey, CJ, man. Good to see you. Hope everything's going well. Life. Savage Worlds core. Suede, if you will. Probably suede, I'm guessing. CJ. Ty, I loved waking up early to go to work so I could be done early so I could take naps. There you go. Ty, you haven't answered my question. Yeah, suede. Hey, there is a Kickstarter on. We'll talk about it for Savage Worlds. I wonder if you got in on it. Fate system. Easy. Thought you were a Cortex guy. What's up? No? The Horror Companion? Yeah. The average pledge on that thing, CJ, is like $200. I think that's the box set. So did you get in on did you go in all in? I have the box set for Suede. I opened it. I looked through it. I think almost everything in it is still in shrink wrap. I don't know, man. I guess I should just play more Savage Worlds. I don't play enough of it. It's such a I think it's a popular system. Joe Swick, if your house, hypothetical, if your house was burning down and you could only grab one RPG book, what would it be? CJ says the box sets take up too much shelf space for my taste. Great products, just not for me, for sure. Roger French, good morning. Zagrave. Back from the grave. I have to say it with a thicker accent. One book. Phil McClory, The One Ring, 2E. Wow, this guy. Like, he's going up with the new stuff. So impressed. Roger French. Your house is burning down. You can only save one RPG book. And it doesn't matter if you own it or not. Like maybe it's one you've read on PDF or something. Well, then you would own it, but that's actually sort of the origin of the name Zagrave. Oh, really? It's hilarious. Hashtag nailed it. Wayne and Roger, your house is burning down. You can only grab one RPG book. What is it? You can only save one RPG book. What is it? It was the Undead Warrior in WoW back in the day. That's hilarious. Back from the grave. I am back from the grave. Hello, how are you? Cortex Prime borrow a lot from Fate. I borrows a lot from Fate. Yeah, okay, fair. Harrigan, Phil is in love with this game. Also, good morning. Good morning, sir. Harrigan, what's your choice? Your house is burning down. You can only save one RPG book. What would it be? Harrigan's going to be like, oh my God, there's so many. Then he'll list 5 of them. You can't do that, Harrigan. Joe Swick Vampire 20th anniversary, or no or. My original AD&D 2E. No ors. So it's the Vampire 20th anniversary. But I die in the fire trying to pick between them. In this scenario, doesn't mean that we won't later be able to replace the other games. We don't look past the imminent present. One book. Well, if I could just choose one book, I'll just buy the rest later. Do I need to change the scenario? You're on a deserted island. You could only have one RPG book. What would it be? Leave a kid behind to grab more books. I could see who the rules lawyers are in this whole spiel. Phil is all in on the One Ring. That guy. It probably helps, just speculating here, Phil, that your group actually likes that game. I wonder if you would have a different opinion if your group was like, this game sucks. Phil says part of it is how one feels when they start a new relationship. All sunshine and roses. Yes, it's the euphoria. It's the honeymoon phase, as we call it in some circles. Can't do a box set. Cheat. No. Wayne, book. Come on, guys. Book. I didn't say box set. Book. I didn't say magazine or zine, although I guess that could be considered a book. Box set. Come on. If you could have one cardboard box and fill it with a shit ton of RPGs, what 20,000 RPGs would you put in that 20-foot by 20-foot box? Everything in my basement. Ty says one book, Fate. Yeah, you mentioned that. Harrigan, I think we talked about this on the BS forums at one point. You should go hunt there. Well, it might have changed. I have a tweet. I was mentioning this early as you guys were joining from like December. Actually, I think I have it in Instapaper that I have bookmarked. I think it's from like December 31st, 30th, like late December of last year. And I got a lot of replies off of it. And I said, I think it was like, what game are you planning on getting to the table in 2022 that you didn't, or plan on getting onto the table at like all costs? And I'm going to retweet that on that same day and ask people if they actually got to it. We'll see what their responses are. See if I could hold some people accountable. Zagrave says, probably Promised Sands because I don't think it's easily replaceable. I haven't yet run it and don't know the rules well enough to run it from memory. Promised Sands. Sounds like a font. Promised Sands. Wayne says, I'll go with my first reaction. Black Hack. Black Hack. Phil says, yeah, the group loves it. Our group thread has been on fire. On fire! Since we started it. Lots of enthusiasm from the companions. Well, that's fantastic, dude. Who's pinging me? CJ, Fate is a solid choice. Hard part for me is a lot of games just don't feel complete without more than one book to run the system. So arrogant. Maybe against the Dark Master. Get out of here. That way if Gabe is also shipwrecked there, I can hit him with it. Well, if he's not lurking, he's lurking. We'll know now, right? Shots fired. Book thrown. Shots fired should be replaced for book thrown. Wayne Peacock, intellectually and emotionally, I would have other choices. Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. Brett Pazinski, Morning, the book that's physically closest to me right now, Vaesen. I would want to see Vaesen if I were on a desert island. Aaron Rayleigh, good morning, sir. My AD&D DMG, not just sentimental, but I think it has the most character of all RPG books, and this is the most fun to read. You, sir, are a unique beast. Hello, friendos. Fellow beer leaguer, Jason Weitzel. Jason got to see one of the World Series games. Being a diehard Phillies fan. Jason, your house is about to go up in flames. You can only have one RPG book. You can only save one RPG book. What book would it be? Phil says Vaesen, great choice. Phil hasn't even written. Like he's written for Vaesen and he doesn't even pick it. I don't understand that. Zagrave says, time to rebind all my RPG books into one massive tome so that I can answer all of them to this hypothetical scenario. And even then, they wouldn't be as big as Weird Frontiers. No box. Only a book. Although, I mean, to be fair, I did say no box to Wayne. But red box, Moldvay box, those are kind of like you kind of almost have to have them, right? Roger says I would say Weird Frontiers, but I don't want to throw out my back dragging it to the door. Well, you might have to remove it because it may just be like it may contribute to the fire. What are you doing? And I say contribute because it's so big. Like be like burning down a wall. Basic Moldvay then. Sigh. That's true, Wayne says. Roger, you could build a new house out of Weird Frontiers. There you go. So you save it, build yourself a new house, then stack it up with new books. Good times. Good times. Well, we're going to talk about this week's news, the usual. So crowdfunding and some RBG print stuff. I didn't have a lot of other things, but I got one other thing to show. I'm going to do a little show and tell today, I think. A little show and tell. Some of you might enjoy it, some of you might not. And that's okay. Alrighty. Hope everybody had a good week. BSRCon is going on now. I say that now because I'll forget. And frankly, somebody might tune out before the end of this. So I'm going to throw it in now. If you have partaken in the past BSRCon in January of 2022, it was a good time. It's an online convention for BSers, former fans, fans of the podcast Gaming and BS, which I hosted, and some of you have affectionately supported and have followed for quite some time. So thank you very much. Going to be doing it. It's now launched, and well, I should probably put a link in the chat so that people can find it. And lots of positive feedback from last year. We're doing it again. I don't know what the turnout will be, given that the podcast hasn't really been around since June, but there's some pretty good games. We already have quite a few that are on the docket, which I will put some out there. So just get some rules set. So there's a 5e Brancalonia supplement game. There's Flu, Cortex Plus, Troika, Lady Blackbird Against the Dark Master, and Cypher. Look at that selection, huh? That's fantastic. Thanks for everybody. If you've submitted an event, we'll have the paint room going again. So submit your event. The cost is $10, and I'll donate most of the proceeds to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. $10 will get you the day or the weekend or the hour, whatever is, it's all inclusive, and then it's not any other additional cost per event. So $10 gets you everything. So it's Friday, January 19th. I don't even know the dates of my own convention. Friday the 20th through Sunday the 22nd. It's basically going to be running 24 hours. So for people that are in different time zones, a lot of people last year had mentioned how a lot had overlapped and they wish they had known that, or if you could break it down into these chunks. And here's the deal. And I was thinking about this, and I could certainly favor scheduling certain games at certain times. So in other words, it when you submit an event, some of you know this, it will ask you for your first choice of date and time, and then your alternate choice of date and time. And what I could do is look at those and choose the second choice and say, well, that one's an even hour. So maybe I'll schedule everything even hours. So that way it's more likely not to overlap with other events. But let's face it, why would I do that when most of the times when it's a physical event, you have to consider those things because you're talking about physical resources like a table and chairs. But with Discord, you can make it happen any way you want. So I just genuinely go with the person's first choice, because if that's their preference, I'd rather not inconvenience them and just say, okay, Harrigan wants to run at 1 a.m. Okay, buddy, go nuts. So BSRCon 2 Electric Boogaloo, badge registration's open. You have to get a badge, and then you can submit an event. That's the order, okay? That's the order of initiative, folks. But event submission is open. So, and I'm probably not going to close it until like the Friday before the convention or the Thursday before the con. What do you want? I know, you got food. Get out of here. So, would love to see you there. I'll probably schedule a late night kind of happy hour get together. I think we got some games that are starting pretty late. Some of that has to do with like time zones, when you're talking about 4-hour difference from East to West Coast, somebody's, starting a game at 8 p.m. and ending at midnight, on the West Coast, it's going to be 10. Hey, here, you. Jeez, like I'm a scratching post. Let me get this guy some food for Pete's sakes. Hold on a second. Get out of here. Hungry? I gotta get my squirt. Get my trusty squirt bottle out then if you're not hungry. What? Anyways, hope you can join us. We'll have like a happy hour, probably midnight on Friday and Saturday-ish Central Time for those that are done with their kind of gaming day. And last time we had like on and off, 10 to 15 people drop in and just kind of hang out, talk about the games they played and they ran, whatever else was going on. So hope you can make it. I know sometimes virtual play is not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that, so no problem. CJ says, with a twist, I would have to admit I reread the 2E Shining South for Forgotten Realms until the book wore out. Halfling Nation of Lurien and the Wizard Nation of Halurua grabbed me. Ty says Fan Expo going on in San Francisco November 25th to the 27th. Okay, shout out for Fan Expo. Morning, William Thorpe. William, you must, in order to join the chat and not get kicked out, you must tell us what book. Say your house is burning down and you could only grab one RPG book. What one would it be? Fléau. Just because you are on a French thing, flu is pronounced fléau. Yeah, I cannot polyvoo at all. Good. Thank you for the correction, Wayne. Ty says Sean being attacked by his animals. Yes. That's only Augie, though. Only Augie. How are registration numbers? That's a good question. I could probably tell you that in a second. Kind of give you an idea of how many badges that we've had. Right now we're up to a pretty decent amount. 30, 32? About 32 badges sold. I think last year we got up to about 100. Or is it 100 attendees? I think so. I think 100 people. Joe will be in and out. But the beauty about this horrible question is that there are several RPGs that if you don't have more than one book, you can't play them. What? I suppose. Maybe you can't play at all. Maybe you're deserted island. You're the only person. But it's your only book that you could just read over and over again. I don't know. Insert dismal dystopian future here. All right, let's see what we've got going on. What? Did I bookmark? I did. Bookmark than I thought. Start off with the good stuff. Yeah, thanks, Wayne. I think so. D&D movie release date's been moved. The trailer is out there now, making its rounds, even though they displayed it at some major event a month or two ago. But it was going to be, I don't know what it was going to be released on. The 10th? Oh. Will now be released on March 31st. It's essentially swapping places with Scream 6. So there you go. D&D, Honor Among Thieves. Chris Pine and the crew will be coming out March 31st. Hey, get out of here. Get out of there, Augie. Dirty bugger, knocking stuff off my shelves. He wants to go outside, I think is what the deal is. Need to get an Augie cam. Maybe, no, I can't. Oh, he's just something else. Let me see if I can see him. He looms in the circle. So you can see him right here. He's chewing on a cardboard box. And there's a silhouette right there. Anyways. March 31st. D&D's. Who's going to see it? Anybody? Got advance tickets? You're just waiting for those advance tickets to go on sale? Should we predict? We should have a pool. Box office earnings. Vinegar. Box office earnings. We'll see. $1 trillion. CJ says, I'll be watching the D&D movie. I have not seen some better movies, so it may be a video for me. As Bro says, multiple TV shows in the works too, man. That's a pretty ambition. Yeah, for sure. They brought in owlbears and gelatinous cubes. They get my cash. Here, take my money. I think it'll be amusing. Be amusing, of course. Who got in on this? Cyberg! It's metal! Cyberpunk battle! So you can pre-order Cyberg. Some of us that got in on the Kickstarter are still waiting for our copies, and I haven't gotten our tracking. It sounds like it's a bit of a fiasco at this point, but they are getting on the distributor to get their proverbial stuff together. So here it is that you can the set to release November 15th. So it's 10 days from this recording. And then, of course, Wayne points out the generators for Cyberg, which I think they might have put in here, actually. We'll have to see. Or did they only let the Kickstarter people know? I don't know. But they did send out an email and say, hey, we got these cool generators too. So maybe I'll bop over and take a look at those. I have not actually seen them, Wayne, and visited. So it's compatible with the award-winning apocalyptic heavy metal RPG Merkberg. This is to noise, industrial, and underground hip-hop what Merkberg is to doom and black metal. Rules light, rage heavy, messed up mirror image of Merkberg RPG. Similar in tone and approach to game and book design, but enhanced and augmented. Includes an introductory scenario and 60 random tables for your every cyberpunk need. I do have the PDF. I have paged through it. It's wild. Like it's neon. It's neon madness. Like, not to be confused with reefer madness, it is neon madness. Game casts players as cybernetic punks and misfits raging against the relentless corporate system, corrupt police forces, and alien nano-worshipping cults. The setting is the dystopian metropolis Psi, the only city that matters. You can see some of the neon madness. Stay jacked in, stay synced, stay updated. So there you go. Let me see if I can find the generators. Cyborg RPG generators. If you got a link, Wayne, drop it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're actually indexed yet. Oh, bugger. I'm on the Cyborg Kickstarter page. Might be here. Meyer update reply from the North American distributor. Digital generators. Found the update. So you can stop. I did. You bid above. It did not. It's not displayed. I think it's probably not allowing you crazy guys to put links in the chat for fear of malware. That seems so Cyberg. Harrigan says VSD was a joke, Phil. Oh. He loathes these generics. Look at that. Everywhere. Fate, Suede, GURPS, Cortex. For D&D, the Black Hack, DC, any of that. Come on, Harrigan. One book. One. Or did you already say it? I missed it. Orcus Dorcas, RPG Shenanigans, one book. Your house is burning down right now. You must go in and save one RPG book. Which one is it? Veteran of the Swedish OSR scene. Oh, I'll go with a wild card. Simon Washburn's, creator of Barbarians of Lemuria. Supers. Fantastic little known super flexible system. There you go. Look at that. I am not lagging. Refresh if I'm lagging. I shouldn't be lagging. Jason got his cyber copy and can confirm it has the good free league book smell. For sure. All right, let's see if I can find these generators. Here we go. It's on a dev site. Look at this. Boing. Oh, Cyberg. So you got the left. You guys can see this. Maybe I can blow it up. Blow it up, man. On the left hand side, you can see it. Punk, NPC, mission. Should we create a punk? Well, here's one. Use class. Whoa. Okay. Strength, so you get the mods, right? So for folks that haven't played Merkberg, it has the modifiers versus the score. So strength 0, agility 1, presence 0, toughness 0, knowledge +1, hit point 4 out of 4, glitches 1. You are Aya. Coarse punk shun nanomancer, lipless just teeth. Interesting. New obsession every week and can't stop obsessing over medieval weaponry. Ha! You desire enlightenment. You got infected when a star fell close to your building and you are a curious child. You owe 11,000, whatever the monetary thing is, to someone you trust, hospitalized with increasing medical bills. Shun nanomancer. It's inside you, infesting your brain, warped your flesh. People are afraid of you now. They're afraid of the power that poisons you. You are scared too. Second set of some vital organs. Any hit that would bring you to 0 or less HP has a 50% chance of bringing you to just 1 HP. But any medical bill to restore you to life is doubled. Ooh. Year. 110 credits, yen, whatever. Hangover. Oh, whatever a hangover is. Paracord. Red juice stimjector. 2 doses, which heals D10 HP, and a brick. You're armed with a brick. D3 damage. Yeah. Because who carries a brick? This guy. The nanos. And you print. About an NPC. Zelf Repo. Acid panda with subdermal implants, annoyingly positive. Currently obsessed with recursive synthesizers. Bob Moog died for your synths. Annoyingly positive, currently obsessed with recursive synthesizer, wants fun, lives in Lily Pond and just got robbed. 2 low-ranking virid vipers on their way back for seconds. Friendly. About mission. Let's do a mission. Here we go. Contact, a regular from the PC's favorite watering hole, acting on behalf of a former enemy. The pay, getting rid of half of a single PC's debt. The Jorb, obtain a friend. Target location, a market barge in the Arcs. The security, cultists. Complication. The goal changes midway. Additional location elements. Location feature under renovation. Paint buckets, scaffolding, etc. spread around. Location secret. Maze-like crawl spaces hidden in walls, floors, and ceiling. Location danger. Extremely aggressive ERT crew shows up searching for someone that isn't here. This would be a good one to run at BSRCon. Just saying. Look at that. We got everything we need right here. Should we do a reset? Pick and choose, mix and match, ignore what doesn't make sense, fill in the blanks, reuse known people, locations, and orgs. Remember that corpse and cops are always the bad guy. Huh. Yeah. Contact a washed-up VIP acting on behalf of a current VIP. The pay, future favor. Threaten a piece of prototype technology. That's the job. Target location, a fully automated protein cloning and packaging factory in Galbakken. Security, a death cult. Yes! Complication, rival punks are on the same contract. Uh-oh. Location feature traces of a recent gunfight with bullet holes and soot from small fires still on the walls. Location secret, a secret room used as a Reaper Doc clinic. Location danger, powerful signal blocker distorts all wireless comms. Insert static here. Complete warlock. Orcus Dorcas, man after Mirko Freilich's heart. Digital Hobbit. Loves warlock. I would almost go to say that he would choose the same, but I don't want to speak on his behalf. The 4-color cover. The 4-color cover. That thing is worth like $500, so I could sell it. Replenish some of my games after the fire. Serious? $500? Is it really? Jesus. Craziness. So there's Cyborg. Crazy. Look at that. Stuff popping up. So there you go. I'll put this in the chat because I can do it, Wayne. I have the ways. We have the means. So there's Cyborg. Next the Haltestelle is that one. I'll wait. Well, this is interesting. This is a little, I don't know. It's not really RPG, but some of us are bibliophiles outside of RPGs. I didn't know this. DOJ wins suit to block the PRH Simon & Schuster merger. Did you know this? I didn't know there was going to be a merger, but now I know, and now you know as well. This is dated November 1st, 2022. The U.S. It's Penguin Random House, Simon & Schuster. We're going to merge. And they said, oh, no, we don't think so. The U.S. Department of Justice has won its suit to block the merger of book publishing giants Penguin Random House and Simon & Schuster. And U.S. District Court, Judge Florence Pan has issued an order enjoining the companies from combining. The court finds that the United States has shown that the effect of proposed merger may be substantially to lessen competition in the market for the U.S. publishing rights to anticipated top-selling books, the judge wrote in her order. Just to give you an idea, so Penguin Random House announced in November of 2020, 2 years ago, that it had reached an agreement to acquire Simon & Schuster for $2.175 billion in cash. And retailer organization, the American Booksellers Association, issued a statement asking the Department of Justice to challenge the deal a few weeks later. So the Department had just filed suit to block the merger in November 2021. We know the pace of all this. Attorney General Mark Garland warned of the results. This was found on EN World, the root, but they also, so in the EN World piece, they actually said some of the people that would be affected, like James Introcaso writes some novels for one of those houses and a couple others. So, Wizards publishes at one publisher, and then D&D publishes at the other, which I thought was interesting. So I think that was, and I don't remember which one, but I think that's two different book lines that Wizards puts out, or Hasbro. So there you go. Competition. Yay. Oh, that's a different one. Orcus Dorcas may not be what you're thinking of. It's an unauthorized D&D supplement from 1978. Oh, then it's not the one we are thinking of. There is a Warlock RPG. Orcus Dorcas, have you done a review on the Warlock? By Greg Saunders, as Harrigan so politely puts out. Oh, excellent. Well, there you go. So I was confused. I was corrected. Sean would like to issue the following correction from 5 minutes ago. Well, there's another fan of the Warlock. All right. Right in my backyard. Union formed a game retail with Communications Workers of America. That's right, folks. That's Noble Knight. That's the Fitchburg Water Tower. That's on the opposite side of town for me. Some of you might have visited it when you came to Gamehole Con. They have a huge warehouse, let me tell you. It is no joke. So Noble Knight's been in that location for a few years now. They used to be down in Janesville in two different, like they would have a warehouse offsite, and then they had their like retail with a warehouse. And then they moved it to Madison, Fitchburg, actually. So that's right. I thought I saw a picture with Harrigan and Hobbs and the gang going to Noble Knight. So employees at a large brick and mortar and online hobby games retailer formed a union affiliated with the Communications Workers of America. Because, you know, they're communication workers. But, you know, whatever. Noble Knight Games United seeks to represent workers at Fitchburg, Wisconsin-based Noble Knight Games, which specializes in out-of-print and used games, and say it has the world's largest selection of games. The group filed their intent to form a union with the National Labor Relations Board on Monday. This is dated November 1st, 2022. The goals of the union include improved compensation, affordable benefits, a health work-life balance, fair and transparent policies and procedures, and maintaining appropriate viable workplace conditions and expectations. The group says it has the support of over 70% of the employees. I know a couple people that actually work there. So employees have asked the ownership of the company. Actually, when I was job searching, they had a position that I was like, not a huge amount of pay, but you know, how hard could it be working in RPGs, filling orders? I don't know. Maybe it is tough. Grueling hours. Maybe high expectations. We'll see. But anyways, good. I thought it would be like good if I retired. And they did offer benefits, which kind of appealed to me. Anyways, the employees have asked ownership of the company to voluntarily accept the union and begin bargaining on an initial contract. If ownership does not voluntarily recognize the union, Noble Knight United will call for an election, which has been the case, I believe. They thought Noble Knight has volunteered to not recognize it. So we'll see. Unions associated with the Communication Workers of America have organized a number of companies in the geek culture space recently, including employees at nearby video game developer Raven Software, which I have been to and worked in a building next to in Raven Software. They originated like the Soldier of Fortune franchise and ended up becoming part of the Activision family, and now predominantly do Call of Duty. Others include RPG publisher Paizo. We heard of that one. Comic and graphic novel publisher Image Comics. And manga publisher 7 Seas Entertainment. So this is the first retailer employee group that the union has sought to represent. We visited Noble Knight's 5,500 square foot brick and mortar store, which shares a building with the company's warehouse, in 2019, and found a well-appointed retail establishment with space for play and demos, some out-of-print games. Yeah, it's my kind of go-to for RPGs in the area. They're just, nobody can really compete with them. Because if it's not on the shelf, you can go to a kiosk and search it, and somebody will go to the back and grab it for you. It's crazy. So, good luck to the folks that work there and in their pursuits of unionizing. All right. Ooh, I think I missed one. Maybe. I did. Missed something here. Let me. Oh, shoot. Where is it? Where did you go? Huh? Let's go to. Nobody tries to form a union if working conditions are good, so good for them. True, I guess. I don't know. Well, yeah. Well, I will not put in any commentary on that at the moment. But here we go. RPG print news from our friends at EN World, even though they probably don't know me. RPG print news, cover of the Dragon Turtle Epic Encounters, Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, 1 unpainted miniature and box set. That's out. Run a terrifying boss encountered by matching PCs up against a gargantuan dragon turtle. There you go. Break Sprout. Bleak. It's Bleak Sprout, Sean. By Deadbox Games, 5th edition, softcover adventure for $24. 4 to 5 PCs, level 3 to 5, catch Bleak Sprout, a necrotic fungal infection, and must talk, fight, and explore for a cure if one exists. Oh my God! Through the Valley of the Manticore. Through the Valley of the Manticore, I must tread. Gelatinous Cubism Press, 5th edition, softcover, $15. Remember what I said? 5th edition library stuff, man. That's one big bookshelf. PCs traverse winding sandstone slot canyons and explore natural... Ooh, ow. And explore natural cave systems rumored to contain hidden relics of immersive value and magical power. All right, some non-D&D stuff here. Dot Dungeon, pre-game lobby issue number 1, pre-game lobby issue number 2, and pre-game lobby issue number... Yeah, you guessed it, 3. Hardcover core rulebook, softcover zines. That dungeon, is about people playing an MMO so mysterious it's in its creation and exploded in its popularity that it's taken on a life of its own and allows an exploration of tabletop RPG gaming in a new way. Ooh, proofreader. One person takes on the role of the world, filling in nooks and crannies with their own ideas, or those borrowed from books, films, and other video games. The GM and PC mix the real world and the game to create form of any pet they have, while the witch lets a PC's tattoos come to life. The artist class can draw or write about the game to give the PCs advantages, while the hacker class alters the text of the game to their advantage. Interesting. Check it out. The Hunt for the Howling God by Goodman Games. The system is TTRPG, The Empire of the East. Softcover module. I don't know if this was at GameholeCon. I think it might have been. I'm not sure. You guys might know. Designed for first and second level characters who must engineer a jailbreak to learn the location of a lost relic of the old world, lost in the deepest reaches of an ancient installation home to the Howling God. Orcus Dorcas says, good to see Empire of the East finally getting some support. Orcus Dorcas, co-host of Titterpigs RPG podcast. Go and check them out at TTRPGIGS podcast. Google it and you find it at your podcatcher of choice. Shadows of Atlantis, Nebula of Mirrors by Modiphius Entertainment. Achtung Cthulhu 2 de 20. Infinity RPG hardcover supplements, softcover supplements. Description: in Shadows of Atlantis, PCs embark on a globe-spanning adventure that takes them from the dawn of the secret war to the fall of ancient Atlantis. They search for a legendary artifact, which was shattered into its component parts during the fall of Atlantis. They are opposed by the machinations of a secret Nazi occult force hell-bent on acquiring this lost knowledge of themselves. Nebula of Mirrors, there's 3 products here, draws the PC deep into the darkest secrets of the human sphere. Betrayed by their friends and their enemies, turning into strange allies, they must untangle their twisted triangle of allegiances before the code Infinity unleashes its destructive force. Tags, be it humanoid or insectoid, have become the pinnacle of humankind's technological achievements, with whole industries thriving in the design, construction, and maintenance of these mechanical Goliaths. When human operated, more and more of these machines are operated via remote presence. Something about the pulp stuff does kind of every once in a while pique my curiosity and starts, whether it's the Golden Compass, not the Golden Compass, Broken Compass, Tombs, and Temples and Tombs. Or something like this, that would be kind of a fun game, like Journey to the Center of the Earth, Captain Nemo, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Indiana Jones, Doc Savage. Those. There is something. Talk about adventure, right? That's what it's all about. Anybody like that genre of RPGs? I was thinking potentially an LXG game for BS or Con. LXG. Help me out, Roger. LXG. Savage Worlds, of course, is kind of born on that, but not all of their games are like it. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Got it. Sorry. Jeez. Lost my own context. I enjoy pulpy goodness, CJ says. Sweet. Love it. Big fan of pulp style systems, Orchid Dorcas says. Yeah. You got to ham it up, right? Even Pulp Cthulhu, right? There's pulp. The one Spirit of the Century, right? For all you Fate lovers. A lot of pulp. Don't see a lot of pulp, though. Don't talk a lot about a lot of pulp, right? It's always fantasy. Fantasy, cyberpunk. What else? Horror. Suspense. Horror and suspense. Not a lot of espionage, necessarily, right? Those are the big ones, right? Lots of dudes named Dirk. Ha, funny. That used to be my handle, Wayne, for online gaming. I used to be known in a previous life as Cool Dirk. People would just they would just yell across the room, Dirk. Damn it, Dirk. As I kick their ass in first-person shooters. Hollow Earth, yeah, another one. There's a few out there. I don't know if they get enough love. They get enough play. Breakers is pulp. Got it, sure. Breakers, Wayne played or ran it for us. I think I mentioned this last week when I did a recap for Gamehole Con. Breakers is like a is like a PBTA based off World of Dungeons. It's good. I think Wayne's got a Breakers game, right? Didn't you? Floime? Flomoy, he put up earlier. Yeah, there he is. Right. I cannot get that right. Let's see. I think that. Oh well, we got to go to the crowdfunding news, which will be surprising because Paranoia is not listed this week. Why is Paranoia not getting any love on EN World? I'm starting to question their crowdfunding research savviness. Help me trying to speak French. Yeah, man. No parlez-vous. Deutsch? Ja, jawohl. Französisch? Nix so gut. Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop. The role-playing game by Sunrise. You guys getting in on this? Where's the Cowboy Bebop, folks? It's an original system. It's in Euros core rulebook. The quick start you can get at TTRPG. This is brought to you by our folks at the fine website EN World. 240-page rulebook, spacefaring bounty hunting as you and your crew track down fugitives to reap just enough woolongs to squeak by. Popular series didn't work at Netflix, but as a tabletop RPG, it's finding its audience. The artwork is all the anime, meaning the book, the best of the. The artwork is all from the anime, meaning the book, the best of the series. Don't Panic Games is partnering with Mana Project Studio to make this a reality, and they went the distance with an original system as well as the authentic artwork. Campaign also offers custom D6s with Spike Spiegel, Faye Valentine, Ed, and Jet Black's faces in place of the D6. If you're a fan of Cowboy Bebop, or sci-fi bounty hunting, this campaign is worth checking out. There you go. It's funded at almost 1,800%. Kids on Bikes, 2nd edition. End date. They must put these up here when these things are about to end. So the Cowboy Bebop one ends November 16th, like instead of when they launch. And then maybe it's to help them over the hump. I don't know. And then Kids on Bike 2nd edition, which was launched, I don't know, 3 weeks ago maybe, ends Wednesday, November 9th. Full disclosure, I'm a backer on Kids on Bikes 2nd edition because I didn't play the first one. I figured I'd get this one and hope to play it. I don't know. Does that work? CJ says, yeah, they try to highlight ones closer to closing. That's fine. Hey, man, it's their site. Do what, do you, man. Do you. Morris. Core rulebook, $45. It's 694% funded. Yeah, this should be fun. Still like to run that game. It is, at least the edition, the original, you do get together and you kind of you ask certain questions for going around the table to the players. So you kind of build the setting. I think I mentioned this before. So you build the setting. So as a game master might be like very, very much impromptu. And if you can run, given the basics when it's presented at the table and come up with something that makes it all jam together, good on you. Next one. This is CJ. CJ was mentioning this. We were right as I was starting, mentioned the big Savage Worlds one. So this is it. Pinnacle. I haven't seen one from Pinnacle in a little while. But this is an official Pinnacle Savage Worlds one. So there's other Savage Worlds that are licensees, but this one's coming from PEG. The average or most popular pledge, 200 bones. Shipping and handling for the PDF and print versions of the boxed set, with all of the books, cards, tokens, maps, and more. Their box sets are great. I have Suede. It's like, I saw a boxed set of Suede at Noble Knight that was a few $100. It is, Ty, nothing in by you, buddy. It is one of the Kids on Bike Pinnacle ones. It actually says that. So this campaign offers 2 Savage World products under the horror theme. First up is the Horror Companion, which it's kind of like the sci-fi companion, right? Super's companion. So this one's for horror. Collection of SW rules to enhance the horror elements. I think some people are getting on just for that. And the other is a Kids on Bikes genre setting book, Pine Box Middle School. The most popular pledge level gives you book products so you can go full horror or middle school horror or anything in between, leaving the decision to you. If you're a Savage Worlds fan and a horror fan, this campaign is what you're looking for. It's like 2,000% funded. Yeah. And interesting enough, Pinnacle had their own site for doing crowdfunding, but with this one, they used Kickstarter. I don't know if they have a method behind the madness. So I'm guessing like things that are just these weird one-offs, they do it on their own site, and then the big ones they do it on Kickstarter. Is my guess. Does anybody can confirm that? Orcus Dorcas. Savage Kids on Bikes, aka my kids. Heyo. Tap, tap, tap. Was it? Pine Box MS is the young kids version of ETU. I figured that was the case. ETU is East Texas University, for those that are uninitiated, where you play college kids that kind of the Buffy the Vampire meets the college kids investigating weird things. Supposed to add some interesting mechanics for creating NPCs and complications. They use Kickstarter for the ones they want more eyes on. Yeah, that's what I figured. The Session Zero system from Mythic Grove. I featured this one streaming Saturday when I got news that this was coming about a boot from Mythic Grove, and this gentleman whose name escapes me, which they didn't even mention because I think, you know, his background was, I think, with, was it Critical Role? It's something. I apologize. I thought it was, I wish I remembered. So this is product exactly what it says. Session Zero. It's a game to do Session Zero. A system for maximizing your Session Zero establishes the campaign's lore, table expectations, and characters. I may kick in for this just to get maybe the PDF, because I'm big on Session Zero, and sometimes mine aren't all that great, but I think it's really interesting to see how people approach this. So get more out of the session with interconnected backstories, better storytelling tools, alternative safety tools. Although when I first explored this, it sounded more like a game, and I don't know if that's something I want to do for Session Zero. However, when they frame it up in this context, it seems like just a methodology or a framework. So, oh God, methodology, framework. Sound like corporate talk, man. Hunter's Full Moon Trilogy. 5e. So let's look at this. All these, no 5e. Yay. Yay. Hunter's Moon, 5e. Not bad. Adventure module, done in pounds. 160 page, presenting 3 fantasy adventures for 5e. Kind of like Call of the Wild, Deeper into the Woods, and Under the Black Mountains. As well as content like Gadrun Estotri's Guide to the Wild. There's original monsters, NPCs, lore, and VTT assets. It's funded 2,500%. Yay! Golf clap. Look at this one. Doug Lewandowski and Yansu Julian Kim. Home. Some doors should never be opened. By Wet Ink Games. It's a haunted house map building RPG. It's an original system core rule set. Another non-5e. $40 shipping and handling for the PDF and print. 109% funded. map making RPG in which your characters explore a haunted house. Coming as a rulebook, 200 tarot-sized cards, counters, and more. You'll explore a house, and as you encounter new rooms, you'll draw them and learn their tragic history. If your gaming table is interested in collaborating on a haunted house, this is worth exploring. I would inject David S. Pumpkins into this. Just saying. Any questions? Microscope is kind of a game. True. I think it's a Scion. God, Scion God. Become gods and fight for the fate of the world. Onyx Path. That's not listed? Oh, because it's not Kick Track. That's why. It is on Backer Kit. So they don't have the cool embedded Kick Tracker. So I can't say if it's been funded or not. Scion deals in the children of the gods in a modern setting, starting with origin, hero, and demigod. You've been able to build up your godlings, their pantheons, in the mortal world. So if you're tired of playing superheroes or heroes, why not become a god? Play an RPG where you're a god. Sourcebook gives you rules to address the gods and really become one. If you're a fan of Scion or you want to play gods in our world today, Scion God is a must-have book. Stokerverse by Nightfall Games. It's an S5S system. We all know what to say if someone asks if you're a god. That's right. Well, no. Ty says home sounds like the board game Betrayal on the House game. Betrayal on the House. Betrayal on the House on the Hill, right? Yeah. Stokerverse. 60 pounds shipping and handling. Get it while it's hot as the dollar and the pound compete. Cannot get a better deal on the regular pound. Stokerverse role-playing game quick start is pay what you want at drive-thru if you want a little sneaky peeky. It's 192 pages of game rules for Bram Stoker's Dracula set in the Victorian era. This game pits you against the vampire courts, making you a vampire hunter. Dacre Stoker, the great-grandnephew of Bram, the custodian of his legacy, is part of the team creating this book. Really? That true? Holy cow. That's wow. In fact, that makes this a standout project because of its creative lineage back to the original creator. What? If you're a fan, I did not know that. If you're a fan, check out campaign page for a free preview. Whoa, great-grandnephew. Huh. Interesting lineage. Yeah, Bram Stoker would game. Carrion Lands, survival, horror, sword and sorcery, OSR role-playing by Gallant Knight Games. Gallant Knight puts out some good stuff. Original OSR system. Core rulebook, $50. 120 pages of doom, grim, dark fantasy from the mind of Alan Barr. And Alan's put out some good stuff. Using an OSR system, your character will awaken confused, naked, and doomed among the Carrion Lands. Your goal is survival. I think this was brought up at one point. This is being on Backer Kit, so check that out. That's all I got for that stuff. I'm going to do a little show and tell because I think it's a little cool, and we've got a little time. What do you think about those backers, about the crowdfunding stuff? You guys in on any of that? Even the Savage Worlds one. I don't play enough. I think I need more Savage Worlds in my life. Do I? Yeah. I don't know. Why is my wife up so early? That is what I want to know. Sense a calling down to the basement. The door opens. There it is. Yes. Hi. What are you doing up so early? Oh, to feed my nephew's cat. Not anytime soon. Relax, folks. Relax. Relax. All right. But going back to the Savage Worlds one, here's the thing. If I were to play Savage Worlds, what game would I want to play? I mean, not game, but what setting, right? They got so many. They've got all kinds of stuff, right? They got this one. ETU is a good one, I think. Deadlands Noir. Oh my God, Solomon Kane. Even though I don't think it was redone for Suede. Agents of Oblivion is one that I got. That was for not Suede, but the previous one, I think. Just kind of a Delta Greenish game. Deadlands, I don't know. Necessary Evil. There's Rippers. There's the Pathfinder stuff. Not, like I said, I'm not interested in taking something in like a fantasy game and playing in Savage Worlds necessarily. I don't know. Wise Guys. I do have Wise Guys. Hey, Andy Hall, what are you doing? What are you doing there, Andy Hall? I need to. So I gotta poke the Savage Worlds bear to get Andy Hall. Hey, what's up, buddy? Did you answer the game? Did you answer what RPG book you would have to rescue? Keeping tabs here, Andy. If your house was burning down, you could save only one RPG book. What would it be? People are waiting for your answer, Andy Hall. Just saying. Yeah, I don't know. Wise Guys? Maybe running a mafia run game? Watch The Sopranos and Goodfellas all over? Somebody said they were doing a sequel to Goodfellas. Which may be tough. Like, some of that crew is not around. ETU does sound cool. Chris Hussey, big Savage Worlds fan, has produced actual plays. And I think one of the big ones was, well, Deadlands and ETU, I think. The Huss Man. You're a circle for urban fantasy games. Well, that's better than being a square, Ty. That's all I got to say. All right, I'm going to show and tell some Foundry. You guys might enjoy this, maybe not. I don't know. Let's bang. And it was here, but it kicked me out. I thought this is kind of cool. Kind of cool. Something you can't really do at the table without it. So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I think I've seen a picture, or I posted a picture of this, but you don't really experience it. And I think I need some soundage. That is not what I want. Where is... Don't have sound on here? Let me see something here. No? Oh, I do have sound. Okay, I think I do have sound. That'll come through. Because it's important for this one. So, this is Alien on Foundry. And to give you kind of a clue of what's going on here, you could see all the customization. This is all by Free League. This is all official module stuff. You could see the line run through the screen. This is the factory complex out of one of the, I don't know if it's the core. The reason I say I don't know where this is from is because there are, I have Alien RPG. I have Hope's Last Day, Heart of Darkness. I think Hope's Last Day is one of the things, but I've got a couple of their modules that I've installed in this. Okay. And I think for an RPG like Alien, something like this, well themed, can really make it pretty immersive and pretty cool, right? So the big green stuff all outlined everything. But here's where it gets kind of cool, right? So if you're familiar with Foundry, you have scenes, and though if you're not familiar, you have scenes, and those scenes are typically a map or background of some kind. So this is a scene that I've loaded. Oh, hold on, I gotta take this. Just bear with me for just a second. Hey, Dad. Oh, are you for sure? What time did they tell you? Do you know where you're going? Whoop. Yeah, I think so. Is that all right? Okay. Yeah, I'll let her know. Yep, I'll let her know. All right, Dad. Okay, sounds good. Yep. Bye. All right. Family. Had to get that one. So thanks for being patient. So this is a scene. This is called Deck H Factory Complex. So you load it up, right? And this is where you would drop your tokens. So let's just, for example, take this, and I'm going to go, and with this module, I'm on the upper right, right above my head. Oh, let me see if I can, I'm going to put myself, oop, that is not what I want to do. What is this? What am I moving? Oh, I think I know what it is. I will not, something is, I think I'm locked. Here we go. Hold on a second. Where is, there. Let me move myself out of the way here. So and as they're playing this on YouTube, you have the player probably going right down below me. Behind me is the chat, like, right, and the menu is up above. If you can see those, okay. Let's boost this thing. Here we go. So if you're Foundry, I apologize. If you're a Foundry person, then you probably know this stuff. But if you haven't, that's okay. So I'm kind of showing things off in Foundry. So you have these, you have the encounter piece, you have the scene piece. I'm up in the top right, and then you have these actors. So if you get a published module, VTT component from Alien or any game, usually from Free League, they may put some NPC actors in here. So because like Heart of Darkness is kind of a one shot, the starter set, they provide characters or pre-gens if you want to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Alien RPG actors, and the actors are just NPCs, monster creatures, or player characters. And I don't know if I want to, I'll go to Heart of Darkness actually. And there's a PC folder that has 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 player characters you can choose from, right above and back to my head. I'm going to put Captain. I can just take her and drag her and put her on the map. Okay, you can kind of see her here. I don't have pings in there. Michael Holland, good to see you. If you'd be so kind to let us know what book you would grab out of a burning building, your burning house. What RPG book would you grab? It can only be one, sir. That is the initiative. Herman, good to see you as well. Same question. Your house is burning down. You can only grab one RPG book. What would it be? You guys missed the news, but I'm doing some show and tell of Foundry and Alien. Okay. So if you can see here, so I have this token here. This is of Captain Aloisa Lugar. So if I click on her, here's her character sheet, right? And I could go across the tabs and kind of gives me some of her info and her stats and things of that nature, okay? So I'm going to close this. And so this token is tied or bound to her character sheet. Okay, great. Now I'm going to put her in the central hub. You can vaguely see the grid lines on the map. And so then, because it's alien, we need a beastie in here. And so I'm going to go to Heart of Darkness, and I'm going to go to Creature, and I'm going to take like this one called Deacon. I'm going to drag Deacon. I'm going to put Deacon maybe over here. Actually, so I can get them on the same page here. We'll put them over here. I don't know if that's a hallway or not, but you see Deacon, and you have Captain Lugar. Okay, pretty cool, right? No big deal. Tokens, yeah, so what, Sean? Big deal, okay? Well, this is where it gets kind of cool. Herman says, tough question. Either a Cortex, Cyberpunk Red, or Cypher system. You're disqualified, Herman. Sorry. You're disqualified. Only one. Only one. So then what happens is if you click this button, I'm behind him. Let me see if I can, there we go. Dang it. Try it. Where am I? Here we go. I move myself again because there's a button right behind me. Right. Not that way. Right there. See the, can't see it, but there's a little square button right here by the roll button. Like kind of got a crosshairs. And if I click that, it comes up with a motion tracker. And you can hear that noise. You can hear it, right? I don't have it on because it'll create an echo. So maybe I'll do this. Yeah. Right? It's cool, huh? So it's thump, thump. You'll notice that the beastie isn't showing up on the tracker. Now check this out. I'm gonna click on this token, Deacon, and I'm gonna move him. And you can see he's barely off the beaten path, but notice that he's at the 9 o'clock. I'm going to turn that down a little bit because that can get probably pretty annoying, but it's going to turn down my voice too. Actually, hold on a second. Bear with me. I think I can turn this down. Oh, it doesn't turn down. Oh my God. How do I turn it? Oh, here it is. Hold on. All right. I muted it. I don't think I can turn it down. Strange. So loud. I know. I apologize. It's like driving me crazy. I muted it, right? Yeah, it's not coming through. Okay. Sorry about that. I might have to find a way because I'm in the controls up above to the back on top right of the screen trying to turn that down. So that might be a small minor issue. Actually, I think it's probably it's not. I'm gonna configure controls. Maybe not. Manage modules. And it is the pointer and pings module. And I think let's see. Dice so nice. pointers and pings, settings and design studio. So we'll do this general pointer ping. GMs, it doesn't have a volume. Whoa. So anyways, to deafen my players. Come on, guys, come on. So anyways, check this out. I will unmute it briefly. I will turn down my volume. Okay. It doesn't work, Wayne. That's where I was. Audio playlist. Look at all of them down. They're all down to nothing. I'll unmute it and see. But I don't think it changes. No, it's still loud as hell. All right, so I'll just turn down my volume. But notice as I move the bad guy token, what happens to the tracker and the volume or the tone and pitch of the of the tracker. And you'll notice on the tracker what happens, like where does the thing show up, right? So check this out. Turn it down now. What do you think? So if you put down, say put down this one, this one. Now look at the tracker. I can't make it too, I don't think I can make that bigger. And I can move it. It was subtle and didn't cause brain hemorrhaging. I will have to check out where the volume is. I thought it would for sure would be in the volume of the playlist for Foundry, but obviously it is not. And I will double check the module settings, because what I may do if I run this with the tracker is run the audio through like an OBS source so I can turn that down. Did you unmute? No. Here, let me do it. I'll unmute it, but I got to turn down the volume because it's pretty annoying over and over. So I might have well, that's probably low. I might have turned it down too low. So here, I'll just go mediocre. They're coming, man. They're coming. They're coming for us. Game over, man. All right, I'm muting it. No refresh, nothing needed. I don't know. I have to read more about the tracker and what that looks like. I thought it was flipping cool. And the thing is if you have the tracker going and you have the alien hidden, it doesn't pick it up. So if I choose to take one of these and hide it, I think is it this one? No, that's targeting. That is not status effects. It's not. Might be a status effect too, but anyways. So if I have this one, Now let's see, I'll just delete these. And I click the tracker. It doesn't do anything. It's not, and it doesn't actually, it doesn't send out a ping. Really, Ty? Really? Really? That's it? That's what you're picking apart? And then if I, oh, it doesn't, does it? Oh, it doesn't start up if I unhide them. Interesting. So maybe I do it now. Okay, hold on. Like, oh my God, John! Don't worry, I'm trying to slowly. Here we go. Okay. So it does. It doesn't pick it up, but it still pings if I have it hidden. So if you're playing Alien and you're at the desktop, how do you represent that? So this session of How to RPG, Saturdays with Sean, brought to you with help from Free League's Alien and Foundry Virtual Tabletop and the modules that they suggest you use. That includes, in this case, Alien RPG Motion Tracker, Alien RPG CRT UI, which gives you all the green, as well as the PNP Pointer and Pings module. It's just like the movie if there was a garbage truck backing up in every scene. Don't hate. It's cool. Period. End of discussion. With special sponsorship by Belltone Hearing Aids. I don't know. It's pretty cool, I thought. And it's just, if you haven't had the pleasure of seeing some of the work that Free League has done for some of their work on Foundry modules to complement their games, they're very affordable for like, I think I've gotten some of these for like $10. I mean, it has all of the info that you need. So Heart of Darkness scenario, here is the Heart of Darkness scenario kind of up and back to me, up above. And in those folders we'll have all the pages, all the entries from the game. Now, one would argue like, I don't want to read that stuff on a VTT with green and dark, contrast, which is fine, but it's all there. Like you literally get all of the pages and details and content. So I think there's a Blade Runner one. I think I got in on with the Kickstarter, which will come in handy. But all the handouts, the maps, they actually go to great extremes to making the look and feel. Impossible Landscapes, God, Impossible Landscapes, Forbidden Lands. I don't know why I get those two, always tongue-tied. But Forbidden Lands, Tales from the Loop, Vaesen, like all are very thematic, the look and feel, to really kind of set the tone. So they're just fantastic. And I wanted to share that with you because I thought it was pretty freaking cool. Though I realized that the volume, I thought was going to be easily to be adjusted, but apparently not. So I'll have to take a look and see where in the interface I can tweak that, because that's a bit of a problem, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, no. It needs a little change, but I mean, if you're going to, and part of it is like, okay, so let's say we want to run Alien or a hacker game or Cyborg or something along those lines. How would it differ running pen, paper, and dice in person than if you could facilitate it through a virtual tabletop? Because I think some folks, they don't like virtual tabletops. It doesn't make, it's cumbersome. It's a pain in the ass. Yet sometimes it can really add to the game. Like Star Wars, I've mentioned, right? The dice, like you can get a die roller and use a different die roller for the dice mechanic. But I find that if I've never run, let me rephrase that. I've run Star Wars FFG at a Gamehole Con. And if you have newbies at the table that like, hey, I go to a con, I play games that I don't get to play. So I'm going to play Star Wars and check it out. And these tea leaf dices and the symbols, I want to see what that's all about. Unraveling those tea leaves can be kind of a pain in the ass. But if you have an app and you roll your virtual dice on your phone and it gives you the results, then you can just take the results and go. You don't have to do the interpretation. VTTs are great for that, in my opinion, right? For Forbidden Lands, every time we play, it seems like we notice a tweak to the VTT setting in Foundry. Good and bad. Wait a minute, it didn't include a die. It should have, or whatever. Sometimes it's broke, but we roll the dice, it fails, and then we push and it fails. It automatically does some of the things that you would normally have to do to your character sheet. And sometimes people forget about that stuff. Like, oh my God, I've been failing and I forgot to mark my willpower every time. Oh my God, I've been doing that for like 4 hours. How many did I lose? And then, of course, the game master is going to be like, I don't know, just take 4. Oh, okay. Don't forget, right? VTT eliminates all that. So there are some advantages to some of these tools that we use, and sometimes it's just getting to know what they are. Now, having said that, I will say that, if I were to run a game at BSRCon, one of the things that is always going through my head as I'm trying to decide what game to run is Foundry obviously is my VTT of choice. But it's also going to take 30 to 45 minutes to do an abbreviated session 0 and explain how to use the virtual tabletop in a 4-hour game. So I've actually contemplated just doing pre-gens, putting them in a Google Drive, sharing the link. The team picks what they want, the group, whatever, and they roll at their desk. And then they, that's it. And you explain the rules of the game without having to explain the rules of the game and the controls of the virtual tabletop. The biggest thing I would probably use the tabletop for in those one-shots would be literally just handouts, right? Here's what you see. Look over at the virtual tabletop. It's there. That would be it. Or I would say you have to have a decent knowledge of Foundry to play this game. Could people say, oh yeah, no problem. I'll figure it out. And they've never done it. And then they get in there and then they stumble around. I don't know if that's enough of a precursor to say you must have an average or above average understanding of, from a player perspective, not a game master. You don't have to be a GM to understand Foundry, but have you used it and used it in this method? Having said that, with Free League's modules, many of the character sheets have some very common structure, right? If I pull up a character from even Alien here, an actor, if you will, and it is somewhat similar, right? Because right below her profile picture, there's the tabs. That is pretty standard from one Free League game to the next on Foundry. But it may change a little bit, right? This isn't like exactly how the Forbidden Lands character sheet looks like. It's probably not exactly the way the Vaesen sheet or Tales from the Loop looks like, but at least you'll get the skills, the inventory, and the description. Those are pretty standard, right? But that's assuming you've done a Free League game using Foundry. If I change it to Delta Green, the cheat's a little bit different. Actually, it's not. I think a lot of sheets are this type of structure with these tabs. But the layout inside each tab might be a little bit different. Even the Star Wars one is got this very common theme, which is great. And I hope they keep that the same, regardless of game, right? I hope they don't, maybe that's a standard that they've just implemented, and they allow other things to be tweaked within that. That way, people from different systems or different games can come into this and not be completely lost. Anyways, just thinking out loud. I thought I'd show that off. I don't know. Sorry for making you guys deaf. I'm sure it'll go away. It's not like any of you don't suffer from tinnitus already anyway, because, if it's too loud, then you're too old. Rockers. But I thought that was like kick-ass. Like, whoa, that tracker. Ping, ping. Oh, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Yeah, I would have to tone that down way, way down. Or at least give the player the option to turn it off. In some of those audio controls within Foundry, usually that's the case. One of the things you have access to as a player is to be able to turn down the background noise or sound audio in the main audio. So, yeah, not so much for that module, unfortunately. I didn't care. Let it ping away in my ears. So anyways, I didn't know if you thought that would be cool. There's some other stuff that I want to, some other modules I want to take a look at. Like I've got, let's see. I got quite a few to install that I haven't installed yet. But the Forbidden Lands, Alien, Twilight 2000, I think are the 3 that I have installed. And I think I have Tales from the Loop and Mutineer Zero Elysium, or Mutineer Zero to check out and see what that's all about. I think I might have bought more even during their sale. I'd have to see what I have. Well, you know what I could do? I could probably tell you. No, I don't want Forge. Because I want to see. And then, of course, the updates. So for VTT Foundry users, careful what you upgrade and install. Many of these modules that I've shown off they have 2 versions. One for prior to version 9 and those post version 9 and newer. They're not overly compatible. So careful what you upgrade and install. So I'm looking at my purchased content. I've got the Alien RPG stuff, Symbaroum, Adventure Collection, Tales from the Loop, Twilight 2000, Mutineer Zero, Forbidden Lands, Coriolis, and Savage Worlds there, yeah. So it's weird. I have the Symbaroum Adventure Collection, but I don't have the Symbaroum Core, which is going to be a problem if I want to run Symbaroum. I'll see you, Roger. Have a great rest of your day, sir. So anyways, there you go. I thought it would be a little bit of a change to put that out there. Doug did trick me. He gave me Tales from the Loop and the Mutineer Zero stuff. I must have bought the Symbaroum Adventure Collection thinking, I don't know what I was thinking when I got that. I'm pretty sure I got that one. I bought that. I don't know why I would have got that and not the core. Let me see something. Yeah, that was a dumb move. Unless, you know what I think, arrogant actually, is I think, as I'm like talking to the screen, I think what happened is I actually have the Symbaroom collection. I just haven't claimed it. I haven't gone in and used the. I don't know why I would have installed this or claimed it. So I probably have to go into my email because I'm pretty sure I have this as well as the core book VTT piece. And it might be in an email with the serial numbers that I just haven't gone into Foundry and said, yep, I've purchased this, put in your registration number. That's probably what's happened. Yeah, it's a little clunky. As a matter of fact, every time I go to install one of these things into Forge, I always forget how it's done. And I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I have to go to Foundry, go to paid, put in the claim number, hit OK, and then I have the URL. Not the spawn URL. I think it maybe. One of these. And then you go to use that link, and then you go to the Forge and you put that in there. But yeah, it's a clunky thing for sure. But if you're gonna explore around with Foundry, there's plenty of folks that have used it that can help walk people through it, especially on the Discord and things of that nature. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I think I'm gonna sign off. No. Want to thank all the folks that have supported me over all this time. Thank you very much. These individual patrons of the show. Thank you very much. I'm going to sign off for the day. I hope that you have a pleasant weekend, day, evening, morning, whenever you see this recorded version of the show. Do me a favor before you head out. Give me a like or subscribe if you haven't already. And if you've got a comment, feel free. Put your favorite emoji down in the comments. Your favorite emoji. Make it a story. Make it more than 3 emojis. No, I'm just kidding. Just put your favorite in there if you can. And I got a plan for BSRCon. I got to come up with something I want to run. Not quite sure what it's going to be, but I'm going to run at least maybe 1 game a day. Blade Runner, maybe. It's coming. I don't know if it should be here in time. I don't know if the VTT stuff will be done in time. If it is, I'll run Blade Runner, no question. So we'll see about that. And then I'll run we'll put something on the calendar for people that's running games that don't want to go into like a social hour. So I'll put the social hour up as an event. And, if you want to make that, you can schedule around it or just pop in when your game is done. We'll do that. But I hope you have a pleasant day, weekend again. And remember, be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. And we'll see you next week. Ciao.